What's up, folks? This is Fiftyeight with another edition of Is It Real? And this week we're doing Suicide Mouse, the apparent suicide of one Mickey Mouse.
Oh boy!
Now the story begins with a person that claims his source was someone who was friends with Leonard Maltin, the movie critic.
I love it.
Who is always doing things for Disney, like going through their old cartoons and seeing if they're commercially viable for DVD release. So they decide, Leonard Maltin and his assistant start watching this loop of Mickey Mouse walking down a city block, and what it looks like is just a continuous loop of it going over and over again. And when they digitized it, they realized it wasn't just a quick 2-minute clip of him walking, but it was 9 minutes. So they decided, let's digitize it and put it on the computer and see what it is. And they saw it was closer to 10 minutes long. And they just watched it, and for about 5 to 7 minutes, just Mickey walking. The music is not real music, kind of music, but it just sounds more like, to the person telling the story, that it's someone banging on a piano key. Just, kind of like what you'd probably see in an old Three Stooges short when they're goofing around. And then it cuts to black after like the 5.5 minute or 6 minute or 7th minute or whatever. And then after that it returns back, but the music's different. You start to hear murmuring, like, murmuring cries, and the picture gets distorted, and everything's starting to look all weird and strange. The buildings are floating. The ground is distorted. Mickey even appears. Now, I watched the Suicide Mouse video, and it was hard for me to tell, but in the story, you see his face curl into an evil smile, and his eyes are pointing up, or something like that. But I couldn't tell. It's poor quality, like, the Squidward episode or the Dead Bart. It's just, someone, whoever made it, it's poor quality. You can't really see the face or the smile or any of those creepy things happening. Now, after they watched it, Leonard Maltin apparently, he became physically ill and had to leave the room, and, he ordered an employee to go in there and finish it for him. Now, watching, they noticed that the color changes in ways that wasn't possible back in the 30s when this cartoon was drawn, which, says right away that it's obviously not a Disney cartoon. Now, the video ends a la Looney Tunes with a face of Mickey Mouse and a music box playing out of tune. And that's when the story gets really bad, because all of a sudden this person now works for Disney. Yes, by the time the story ends, he says he has a security guard working under him that was near the room when the cartoon was watched. And an employee stumbled out of the room and then said 7 times, "Real suffering is not known," and then apparently shoots himself. So this employee, his entire psyche was balanced precariously on Mickey Mouse's happiness and working for Leonard Maltin. The person then writing the story says they met Leonard Maltin and asked him about this incident, but all I could get out of him was that in the last frame there was a Russian text that said, "The sights of hell brings its viewers back in." I thought Leonard Maltin ran out of the room. I thought his employee shot himself before he could tell, what was so horrible. He had to blow his brains out. And then, the writer, who, either works for Disney or whatever, he doesn't know if it's online or not. So besides working for Disney and having a candid talk with Mr. Maltin about a suicide that he would probably feel responsible for, this man's never heard of Google or YouTube, and because he says, if you see it, call him day or night. You can't watch it. Don't view it. You'll grow hair on your palms. In the end, it's just a really bad story. At first it's the guy writing it. It's a friend of a friend, and then partway through the story, he was there, and then becomes he was the friend of the friend. So you got one person who probably started the story 6 months ago, and I guess they didn't read the first part and just kept on writing, and it's just not a very good story. It's obviously fake. The person who wrote it has no concept of continuity. I'm not trying to knock him, but there's just no continuity to it. Is he a security guard? Is I thought it was his friend of a friend that was a friend with Molten. I don't get it, you know, and I just hate it when a story is just this especially bad. I mean, you know, it's a shame because, you know, it's America's icon, and, you know, it's just, there's nothing real about it. I watched the video. It is kind of creepy, you know, in a cool kind of way, but it's just not real, you know. I mean, in the story it says, you know, there's colors, and it was made in a time not possible then. Well, then probably it wasn't made then, and you're an idiot. No, I shouldn't say that, you know. I mean, because you know, I can't animate, so whoever went to the trouble of doing all this is obviously talented, but I just wish the story around it would be better. I mean, so I guess when it comes to urban legends of the 21st century, you know, you get what you hope for, and sometimes you get, you know, crap. You know, it's the cartoon's cool, but like I said, the story is just not very good. You know, I just it had potential. A lot of this, you know, creepypastas I've read about have potential. You know, they're all really good stories, and, you know, they fit really well in today's society. But, you know, as far as Mickey Mouse, that's probably, you know, the least enjoyable one. The video is good, but the story was horribly written, and, you know, it's too bad. You know, who doesn't love it when, you know, their, you know, childhood, you know, love is, you know, something horrible happens to it. You know, it gets in your psyche. It's messed up, and that's what makes it cool. Right, okay, that's it for this week. Please like and subscribe, and check out all my other Is It Real videos and my Uppity Atheist videos. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you around.